Senator Reed of Rhode Island is recognized.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, panel, for your excellent testimony. I want to just take a moment to look back at, we had a hearing last week on the Safe Bank Act, and it's designed to provide access to banking for the cannabis industry. I'll be technical. But in that provision, Section 10 of the Safe Banking Act, there is language that would prohibit supervisors from requesting that a bank cut ties with customers in any industry, even if those customers present a high risk, unless there's only one exception. The bank has broken the law by maintaining the relationship. Mr. Barr, will this adversely affect regulation?
Well, thank you, Senator Reed. I think it's important that Congress is taking on this issue of the potential conflict between state and federal law. Let me say, with respect to Section 10, on the one hand, I don't think it's the federal supervisor's job to tell a bank who to lend to or who not to lend to. On the other hand, I would be concerned about any language that would limit the ability of a supervisor to take prompt action, to take aggressive action, to ask hard questions. I think one of the things we've seen with respect to the institutions we're talking about today is we need supervisors to do that, not to hold back. And so we'd be happy to work with the committee on any reforms that are needed with respect to that provision.
Thank you. Mr. Sue, your position as acting comptroller.
I agree with Vice Chair Barr. It's vitally important that supervisors have discretion to identify risks and to act on those in a timely manner, and that includes requiring remediation. And so I'm not comfortable with any limitations on supervisors' ability to enforce compliance with rules such as the BSA, AML Act, and CFTC rules.
Thank you very much. Mr. Barr, capital stress tests were put in effect by Dodd-Frank. The Federal Reserve organizes, creates the test. It proposes the test upon the banking institution. The results are made public so that everyone could know. That is not the case with liquidity testing. Is that correct?
Yes, the framework for liquidity stress testing and for interest rate stress testing are internal to the supervisory process. They're not a public exercise.
And in fact, when several times SVB was noted by the Federal Reserve privately of failing its liquidity test. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, sir.
And no action was taken?
Action was taken, but some of it was quite counterproductive with respect to the actions taken. So, for example, one step that the bank took with respect to liquidity risk is when it saw that it was breaching its liquidity limits, it changed the modeling assumptions to make the test less conservative.
So, yeah, so it took the test, it failed the test, then it rewrote the test and passed the test, which is, good if you can do it. I presume and hope that the Federal Reserve is looking closely at adopting stronger liquidity rules, i.e. very similar to the capital rules. And
yes, Senator.
let me ask one other question. The president of SVB, Mr. Baker, was also on the board of the San Francisco Fed.
Yes, that's correct.
Did that in any way influence the treatment of this bank?
The evidentiary record that the review looked at did not find evidence of that. Of course, the structural issues are there.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's, again, you've got a bank that's changing the test because they failed, and then you've got a bank being inspected by someone who is, in a way, directly accountable to the president of that bank.
The board structure, the way it works under the Federal Reserve Act, a third of those members are selected by the local bankers and our bankers. They're forbidden from having anything to do with supervision as a matter of policy and law. And so that's the structural way that the Reserve Act intends to deal with those issues.
Yes, but rather than structural or institutional in the human dimension, if someone's sitting on your board and even though they have no legal rights, there is a certain sensitivity, I would expect, by the inspectors.
Again, the evidentiary record we have from the review does not show that in this case.
Well, I think that's another area where you might look at. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Rounds of South Dakota is recognized.